Not satisfying your wife will take you to hell, even as a pastor. See, body no be firewood o. The wife that you married and left in the house for 3 months has feelings also. She has romantic feelings, she has emotional feelings. That you are a pastor does not mean that you should only be spiritual. You should be able to balance when to be spiritual and when to be physical, in order to attend to some things that are under. Some things that are under that can't be mentioned. You should know when to balance it. You should know when to switch from being spiritual to being physical. You should know when to switch from being spiritual to being romantic. Because your wife have feelings also. She's a human. Yes, you have the anointing. Yes, you have the grace. Yes, you have the call. Yes, they are calling you to different places to come and minister. But if you do all those things without putting your wife in consideration, when you are not doing your duty and performing well as a man, it will take you to hell. See, body no be firewood o. Because part of the things that will take you to heaven is how you relate with your wife, how you take care of your wife. The Bible says, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Now, you are a pastor. You are going from one meeting to another. You stay 3 months outside the country. From Nigeria, you go to Angola, to Cameroon, you go to Tunisia, you go to America, and after coming back from those places, a night you are supposed to stay with your wife to pay attention to things that have to do with the family. You are not paying attention to it, and the next morning you say, honey, please, I have to leave, and you leave the woman there and go out. It's enough reason for God to be angry with you. Pastors have this attitude of being too spiritual and leaving the physical little things that they have to pay attention. Leaving your wife for 3 months can aid the devil to come into the family and sow an evil seed. It was when Adam was not around, that was when the devil have access to the wife. See, body no be firewood o. When Adam left the wife and was not around, that was when the devil met the wife and sowed the evil seed that made human race to be suffering up till today. So there are little things you have to pay attention to, even as a man of God. It does not mean that you are not going to be romantic. That you are spiritual does not mean that you will not be romantic. As a man of God, you have to be romantic also. You have to pay little attention. Give your wife time, give her attention. Pay attention to her needs. Know the things that makes her happy. Try to do the things that make her happy. Women are people that God created naturally to like romance. Women are people that God created naturally to like care. And just because you are spiritual does not qualify that you make her lack in that department. Just because you are a man of God and you are prophesying and you are healing the sick and raising the dead does not mean that you will make your wife lack in that department. You have to know how to feel in that department also. See, body no be firewood o. This is the reason why a lot of marriages of men of God that are popular, a lot of marriages are crashing. Their marriages are crashing because their husband refused to pay attention to things of little details, things of care. It's not about making her comfortable, giving her the money, buying her car. There are other things that are under that need to be taken care of, like giving her your time, paying attention to her, listen to her when she talks. Those kind of things, they mean a lot to her. Spending quality time with your wife, it means a lot. So not paying attention to this thing can make God angry with you. No matter the anointing, if you don't satisfy your wife, you will go to hell. That you are a pastor does not mean that you should only be spiritual. You should be able to balance when to be spiritual and when to be physical, in order to attend to some things that are under. Now, making your wife to lack in this department can be a reason why devil will enter, maybe a member of the church or an assistant pastor, enter the person and start manipulating your marriage. Enter the person and start making advances at the woman. And when the woman fails, you will say the woman is not a trustworthy woman, whereas you are the one that sowed the seed. When you are not doing your duty and performing well as a man, they will finally succeed in entering any member of the church or anybody outside to start manipulating the woman and start doing things that are not good for the ears to hear. And you finally get to catch them in the act, or maybe get to know about this. You say the woman is an unfaithful woman. You will say the woman is an unfaithful woman. You will blame the woman, whereas you are the one that sowed the seed. You are the one that sowed the seed, because if you were there to perform your duty very well, to satisfy her, to give her the things that she needs, apart from money, apart from other things, apart from buying her car, to give her the care, to give her the attention, that wouldn't have happened. That is the reason why young girls of nowadays, many of them don't want to marry a pastor. If you ask A lot of them, can you marry a pastor? He will say no. Today he's in mountain, today he's in valley, tomorrow he's in preaching, tomorrow he's in America, that he cannot take that. A lot of them are running from marrying pastors, and this is the fault of the pastors. A lot of women love attention so much, and they want to marry a man that will give them attention. No matter how holy you are, no matter how righteous you are, no matter how spiritual you are, you should be able to give your wife that attention, because not giving her that attention will lead the serpent to come and lure her into sin. And when she finally falls into sin, do you think that God will be happy with you? You may judge and say, yes, you are doing the will of God, but God will not be happy with you, because you are the reason why the woman fell into sin. Because if you have performed your duty as a man, if you have satisfied her, giving her what she needs as a woman, the devil would not find space. If Adam was there for Eve, the serpent will not have time to penetrate into Eve and lure her into sin. So that is it. Men of God should try and satisfy their wife very, very well. Pay attention to the things that she needs, the things that she likes, the things that she loves, the things that makes her happy. Not only buying her material things or physical things, her emotions matters also, her feelings matters also. A lot of marriages are suffering inside. The marriages of men of God are suffering in silence. A lot of marriages are suffering in pain and tears because of this particular issue. A lot of men of God, their wife have been lured into sin because of this particular matter, and nobody is talking about it. If we talk about it, they say you are discussing about sex in the church. Yes, it's high time we start discussing about these things in the church, so that the wives of men of God stop being lured by the Satan into sin. I can count great men of God that their wife have left. I can count great men of God that have been divorced, that their marriage is having issues and crashing. There are still many more, millions of men of God that their marriage is still yet to break, because of this kind of things, because of this attention. That you are holy does not mean that you will not be romantic. That you are spiritual does not mean that you will not be romantic. That you are a man of God does not mean that you will not be romantic, that you will not satisfy your wife. And pay attention to your wife.